My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. This verse in the book of Hosea touched the heart of a young man who heard it after giving a testimony at a church revival.
I started UMI back in 1970 because African American children did not have literature that was culturally relevant to their needs and lifestyles. They needed materials that was educationally sound, but spiritually relevant to their problems and to the issues that they were facing. And so with the help of those who supported me, we started with one publication in teen and developed a whole curriculum of materials that would help them deal with the problems that they were faced with from a biblical perspective. And as a result, today we have materials that addresses those culturally and spiritual needs that many of these young people are facing every day in their lives.
What will I be when I grow up? How will I decide? I'm going to find out this summer at VBS. The theme is, I've Got Talent, showcasing my work for Jesus. VBS will help me to see all the cool jobs that I can do to glorify God. We'll have fun at our VBS showcase because I've got talent.
I've learned not to take life for granted, that I just have it made in the States. Like in Africa, they dress to cover themselves, or they eat just to live. They don't eat for the taste. They don't dress because it's the latest fashion. So that kind of makes me look a different way, like, man, I don't have to match, or I don't have to have everything color coordinated. I don't have to go out and run and buy the latest gym shoes or whatever.
Hey, say, man, I'm not a fool. See, look, the world made me this way, all right? Yeah. See, man got a system set up that no brother can ever do. You take a look at all the top spots in major corporations. You see any black faces up there? See, I got it figured out. I can get rich right here, right now.
Look, man, I got dreams, all right? I'm gonna go to college, get my music degree, and get some serious competition to Quincy Jones, because I got the Lord on my side. What's the Lord done for you lately? How about waking me up this morning, for starters? How about sending his son so I can have eternal life by accepting him into my heart? How about giving me his word to strengthen me in times of trouble?
Black men are being destroyed by culture. It's a cultural thing. And he says the reason for their destruction is because it's kind of like the stereotype is created and it becomes empowering in the sense that the stereotype is respected by people everywhere. The basketball player, the rap star, that they now derive value from identification with that. So he was saying, he calls it the cool poles culture. I don't care about anything. I'm not affected by anything. I don't have to study. I don't have to do these mundane things that regular people have to do. I identify with the gangster rapper and with the athlete. And but he's saying that in scientific studies, that black youth self-esteem is higher than normal because of their identification with these stereotypes that are being celebrated everywhere.
She was an avid churchgoer. Her faith and her love of God was really what kept her motivated.
She was the first woman to become president of a U.S. bank. In 1903, Maggie Lena Walker made history when she founded the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank in Richmond, Virginia.
When I think about the fact that she was an African-American woman in 1903 in Richmond, creating and developing a bank, and then not only that, Maggie Lena Walker had several businesses. The bank was only one of them.
The scriptures speak to those who want to define their own righteousness. And going back to the foundations and what UMI has been doing all these years is creating the foundation by which we measure how far we have come from the Lord and from His Word. And it's intuitive and imperative that a pastor begin to look in much more dimensional terms as opposed to transactional terms. When I was growing up, there were certain things that were always sins. Open-toed shoes were sins, and wearing a red dress was sins, wearing jewelry was a sin. And then you find out that everybody's saved by grace, and then there was this great, eye-opening that you couldn't work for the grace that you were in.
I spoke to single women from LA, New York, DC, Chicago, and Atlanta, and hosted 2 discussions, one at my home in Los Angeles and one in Chicago. Finally, I spoke to women who got married at or over 40 who say they'd never trade their seasons of singleness for anything. The purpose of this forum is really to get to the heart of the matter. You cannot get to wholeness without first truth.
Sometimes we limit what we think we can do, but if we take a minute, we can seek the truth. In God's word, we can see Jesus died for you and me. Now we are His people. Nothing is impossible. Truth seekers, reach for the sky. There's no limit. Here's why.
Actually, there was a time in the experience in the history of urban ministries when I wondered if we were going to be able to continue. And I had an experience that I have never had before